I'm LoriKay Coleman, and today I have with me Bob Gardner. Bob is so fun. I love him. He has combined 30 years of training and created the most unique process. And this process, it releases the grip of things like anxiety, depression, but also serious addictions. And I was impressed to reach out to him and say, hey, do you want me to interview you? And just because I want to share his message.
What you're going to do is this is a pretty intense form of breathing. There's a lot of different ways to breathe depending on what you're trying to experience in the body. This is one that I have everybody that we work with do every day, at least once a day, preferably on an empty stomach. So like before you eat breakfast, do this. Before you eat dinner, do this, right? And the fastest way to change the chemical constituency of the body, which ultimately is going to be your emotional state, is through breathing. Now, it's not the fastest way ultimately. Thought is the fastest way, but thought can also change back really fast too. I'm sure you guys know this. And so breathing gets rid of that component, and we actually force the body into a different chemical space that lasts for a lot longer. And this, like 3 minutes, will probably last, 30, 40 minutes before like your body starts to can go back into another space, depending on what you do afterwards. And if you're doing this for a good solid 15 minutes or stuff, depending on how we put those together, it can last for 4 to 6 hours, where you've basically primed your body to be immune to stress and those types of overwhelm and those types of negative emotions. So what you're going to do is you're going to breathe in, if possible, through your nose to 100% capacity. And that means the bottom lobe of the lungs, the middle lobe of the lungs, and the upper lobe of the lungs, and the sinus cavities. So
sinus cavities.
Yeah, air goes through those, right? So
yeah, they do. Just never thought of that.
Right? We all get to be airheads today.
Right? Welcome to my world.
And then when you let go, you're just going to relax. So you're going to fully in 100%. And then, and so it won't push all the air out. It won't be like, so it'll only be maybe 70, 80% out. So 180% out. What this means is you're going to be supercharging the oxygen in the body and changing the chemoreceptors in the brain. So shifting their baseline so that they're trying to figure out what's a better baseline for you. So you're going to just go 100% in, let go. We'll do it for 3 minutes.
Do we relax as we're coming in?
I'll do it with you so you can see, but
okay.
Ultimately, if you breathe in, you can do a little bit of movement to help your lungs expand.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, one key element is don't force it. So if you find yourself like, that's just, you're burning the oxygen as it comes up with all the muscle tension and you're stressing yourself out. And this is already stressful enough. So try and keep it as relaxed as possible, as fast as you can, while still keeping it as relaxed as possible. Okay. So it'll probably be a decent pace somewhere around like, something like that. Okay.
Got it.
And then at the end, I'll coach you through what you're going to do in terms of holding your breath for a period of time. And then we'll hold it again. And then we'll do a little bit of physical like tension and then we'll be done. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
So here we go. Oops, I didn't. 3 minutes and begin. Breathe in, fully in. Keep breathing. As you're breathing, just remember that the oxygen is being pushed into you from the atmosphere. So don't try to force it. Don't feel like you have to suck the air in. You're letting the air in. You're expanding and letting the air come into you. The way the human body is built and the breath works, it's the atmosphere that's breathing you. We just pretend that we're the ones doing it. So keep the breath in, 100% in, and let go. You may find tingles in your hands or other sensations going through your body. Maybe you get a little lightheaded. It's okay. Make sure you're sitting down. Okay.
Don't drive.
Don't drive while doing this. Don't swim while doing this, right? Operating heavy machinery, all that good stuff. Fully in, let go. 100% in. So we're coming up on halfway. I'm going to speed you up a little bit as we get there. So just keep going. And then just start to speed up just a little bit. So it'll be a little more taxing on your sympathetic nervous system now, which is important because that's where most people hold trauma. So speed up just a little bit. Never forcing it, but still allowing yourself to get 100% in and let go. 100% in, let go. We have about a minute left, so you're 2/3 of the way done. You're almost there. You can keep going, keep going. If you need to get it in through your mouth because your nose is stuffed, that's okay. You can breathe in through your mouth too. Not a big deal. This is just a short amount of time. You've got about 30 seconds left. Keep breathing. Now go a little bit faster still. Fully in, let go. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now one slow one. All the way in, let go. Second time. Really feel it in your hands and feet as you breathe, let go. Third time. And relax. Now hold your breath on empty. Just hold it right there as long as you can. Notice all the sensations in your body. Notice what's going on in your feet, at the surface of your skin, underneath the skin, in the very center where your spine is, in the center of your head. You hold it as long as you can. When you feel like you need to breathe, just give it a couple more seconds. There's plenty of oxygen in your body. And then breathe in and hold on full and just lightly squeeze and stretch for about 10 seconds. But don't do that until you really need to breathe. Just notice what's happening. Tune into the feeling on the inside when we've cut out a lot of the white noise. And there's just you, your being, right there in the middle. And then when you breathe in, stretch and just tense the muscles lightly, open the fingers, right? So you're using up some of this oxygen, but you're holding your breath on full for about 10, 15 seconds. And then when you're done, just relax and then breathe like normal. And then notice the center of your body again. Notice what's happening under the skin. Notice all the different sensations and what you feel. And there's no right or wrong thing to feel here. Most people spend their whole life without even being aware of what's happening underneath their skin. And that's why we get blindsided by stuff in our body, whether it's emotions or whether it's illness. It's not because we're dumb or we're not worth anything or the universe is against us. It's literally because nobody ever taught us to pay attention to these critical things in life. They taught us to pay attention to what other people think about us. They taught us to pay attention about rules of the road, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But what's sustaining your life is something that is far deeper than that. And that, if you give that priority, you'll start to become aware of what's happening in your system. It might be uncomfortable at times, might not, but that's information that you want to know, because that's where you can start shifting the body instead of waiting until you have all of these thought kerfuffles happen afterwards.
Thank you. That reminded me of things that I do in my Kundalini yoga and other Nidra yoga training.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's that 3 minute is so valuable. It's enough to have that nervous system be different.
Yeah.
And then the holding the breath until you can't is like a little death experience. It's like, and then your brain's like, oh, we survived and can celebrate and can rewrite things that way.
It also enhances neuroplasticity. Like when you encounter death a little bit, your brain, when CO2 spikes in the brain and these other things start to happen, which is building up while you're holding your breath, your brain starts to get creative. It's like, okay, what do we need to let go of? And what would be more efficient for our system so that we can survive? And so if you want to be able to have your neural pathways change more rapidly, no, I'm not suggesting go like, play chicken with cars or something, but this is a basic way of encountering death that can prioritize what's most important for your life in a very, very simple way. So you don't need to go get a katana blade and chase down a samurai somewhere. You can actually just like breathe and hold your breath. What I'll say though is this: one, don't hold your breath during the day unless you're doing it for training. You want to be continuously breathing throughout the day so that you're oxygenating your system. But breath holds done deliberately and on purpose change the body's response. So if you're holding your breath unconsciously, the body reacts to it in a very negative way. Holding it consciously shifts things in the system that is very, very different. Just like burning fat. You can burn fat when you're under stress, and it actually releases some toxins in the body, even though you're getting energy. When you burn fat from joy and play, the toxins aren't released. So same amount of energy, but one of them is toxic and the other one's not.
So let's have joy and play.
Exactly. I've been trying to teach people how to do this and to do it automatically. Like my interest was, I was so lazy, like lazy or efficient or however you want to say it. Like I wasn't interested in having it be like, I have a ton of tools that I do every day and it's a lot of work to be happy. Because I was like, when I'm happy, it's not a lot of work. I feel great. It's unhappiness that's a lot of work.
Seriously, yeah.
And so I was like, how do I train my system to just like set up camp in the happiness land?
So what is your daily routine that you do to help you do that?
So it started.